Hello, hello. A very warm welcome to you once again to talk, share, and inspire. And today we hope to inspire you on a very important topic as a young person. My name is Erica Okeo. I'm going to be your host for this session. You know, I'm imagining somebody, you from work, you are very tired, okay? And you spend a whole hour on social media just scrolling. Before you know it, it's 11 p.m. Before you know it, you have not prepared your things for tomorrow and you need to go to work the next day. I never used to be very serious about time management and productivity until I read about the sons of Issachar. That the Bible says that the sons of Issachar had an understanding of time. They knew what Israel ought to do. That these people had really mastered seasons and time management and productivity. And so if you've been struggling with managing your time, you find yourself doing things that you did not actually slot to do for that time, you are in the right place and you are going to talk about the same things. I am joined today by a very special friend of mine, and she's going to be our guest. She'll tell us if she's hacked time management and productivity. Yes. Karibu sana Vini.
Thank you so much, Erica. I'm happy to be here in this show. Have I hacked time management? Wow,
You'll tell us about it.
I'll tell you about it. But yeah, I'm happy to talk about this. It's something I'm passionate about. So let's do it.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe before we go into the conversation, maybe you could just tell us, like, what do you do during the day?
All right.
When you're not inspiring us.
Okay. My name is Vini Gisore. I do a lot. I actually juggle a lot of things and responsibilities. Primarily, I work in the aviation space. I'm trained as an aeronautical engineer. So I go to the airport, I work in aviation navigation, I work in aeronautical navigation services at Wilson Airport. Aside from that, I run a business for modest clothing.
Like what you're just wearing?
Yes, like what I'm wearing.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I also just run a community-based organization where we work with street children primarily. So my day revolves around that, plus other church responsibilities and other volunteer organizations that I'm in. So it's a whole lot of things to juggle around with in a single day.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you kind of still manage them.
Yes, you have to.
Let me talk for you on that.
All right.
You know, the reason why I really wanted to have you on set, the first time I met you, I was like, does this girl have 26 hours while we have 24? And she spends 8 of them sleeping, because you actually sleep early.
Well, I try to, but recently it's really been difficult, but I try. At least 6 to 7 hours. 8 hours has just been impossible for sure.
But at least you do 6 to 7
Yes,
hours.
6 to 7, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So to kickstart this conversation, maybe you could, you know, the most important part of the day is the morning.
For sure.
Take us through your morning routine. Like, how do you start your day?
I tell you, if I don't start my day in devotion, that day is just a pathetic day.
Oh.
So the first thing I do, like when I'm literally in bed, like when I open my eyes and I realize, yes, I'm confirming, did I actually wake up? I'm alive, you know. The first thing I do is like just say a simple prayer, and I get to my routine, my morning routine, my devotional routine. So that involves a lot of things. So technically my ideal time for devotion is 2 hours. So if it's quite an easy day, I'd go to like 3 hours, but tight up days where I'm supposed to report, you know, I go to work by 5:30 in the morning. So that means I really have to be
So what
early.
time do you wake up?
So
if you have 2 hours for devotion.
I tell you. Yeah, so you have to manage. That's why we're here to just see and talk about time management. So you really have to plan your time well. So in the morning, I just do my devotion, then do my prep quickly and get to work if it's a working day. If it's a day that I have to work on my organization or my business, then it's slightly different on the task that I have to accomplish on that particular day. Yeah.
Okay, so you start your day by devotion.
Yes, I start my day by devotions, and after that, I always set time to list down the activities of the day, whether it's a working day or an unworking day. Journaling is like one of the things I love, and my friends know it, and they give, you know, those gifts they give you on your birthdays, etc. Journals are just like, I just have a pack full of journals. So I just journal my day. Look at how does my day look like. I started my day at 3. I started my day at 4. So how does that day look? What time am I anticipating to sleep? So I plan out every single thing. And this is a counsel that even Ellen White talks about. You know, when you're reading Youth Instructor, I think it should be 1893, somewhere paragraph 6 around there. She talks about us having a memorandum of activities and actually setting a time to accomplish these things. That you have to put in a list and then set a specific time and then pull all your efforts to actually achieve them. That I won't lazy around. I'm supposed to wash dishes in 20 minutes. I can't wash them in an hour. I don't have the luxury of washing my dishes in an hour.
You don't have an extra 50 minutes.
I have to finish in 20 minutes, you know, and that's exactly what counsel tells us.
Wow, guys, I am already feeling very charged. Do you see? She says she starts her day by her devotions. You see, Christ used to follow the same method.
Exactly.
The Bible says that he used to wake up while it was yet day.
Yes.
And he would go into a secret place or a sacred place and pray.
Exactly.
So there is no way I can wake up. It looks to me like there's no way I can start my day at 9 a.m. and think I'll have 2 hours for devotion.
That's true.
So probably maybe our biggest struggle with time management is our mornings. It seems like if you work on your mornings, you can kind of hack this thing, right?
It is true. I forget her name, but she's written a book called 15 Minutes Quiet Time for Busy People. So it's a lazy, I was doing this devotional, in fact, at the start of this year. And she was writing a devotional for people who are quite busy. And she's like, you can just spare 15 minutes of your time. And there's a poem in that book. If we had the luxury of time, we'd actually read through that poem. But she says, you know, she's going through her day and she's wondering there's something wrong. And then she remembers, I didn't pray. She's going through her day, things are not working out. And then she remembers, I didn't do devotion. So yes, success starts with devotion. Look at every other example in the Bible. Ezekiel, for example, Ezekiel 12 verse 8. You know, Ezekiel says, and in the morning the Lord came to him. Look at the Israelites. What does God expressly command the Israelites? You know, when you're reading like Exodus chapter 25 and even chapter 35, God tells them, come to me in the morning, not in the evening. God tells them, come and consecrate yourself in the morning. You know, when you're reading Steps to Christ, Ellen White says that you know, the hours of the morning, you need to consecrate yourself, that these hours are so vital. You can imagine someone like Martin Luther taking 3 hours in prayer every single day. These are successful people. Successful people take advantage of their morning hours. You get it wrong in the morning, you get it all wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not that we do not have time. It's just that maybe we have not yet learned how to hack our mornings.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then now, going to the next thing that I'd love us to talk about. So you've said that you prepare a to-do list.
Yeah,
so it means you have a plan.
For sure.
So maybe you could take us through some of the strategies you use to, you know, to hack a successful day.
Okay, so my day is determined by my week, and my week is determined by my month. My month is determined by my quarter, and the quarter is determined by the year. Honestly, I'm not even kidding.
What happens to one day at a time, sweet Jesus?
Yeah, it is. You know, God says, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself.
You're already planning for the quarter. I don't even know if we'll be here. Okay.
You prepare as if you live 1,000 years, but you live a day at a time. For sure, you have to think about tomorrow. And so for me, I think one thing that works is I know what I'm supposed to achieve in that week, and I know this particular day, this is what I'm supposed to particularly achieve on this day. So when I think about what am I supposed to do today, for example, is it a relaxed day for me? Is it a quiet day? And on a quiet day, I'm thinking things like thorough cleaning. I'm thinking about washing my clothes. I'm thinking about organizing for the whole week. So probably ironing clothes for the whole week, or choosing clothes which I'll wear for the whole week, or contacting people, establishing contact with people I want to further conversations with the whole week. You know, so that's how it looks like on a quiet day. On a work day, I technically work 18 hours in a day when I go to work. So my day starts at like 5:30 at work and I finish it at like 10:30. So on my work days, I'm fully at work. So that's just out. Like on a work day, there's hardly time to think about anything else. I'm just focused at work. So I plan out and know when I'm at work, for example, will I have break times? Will I have spare time? So what can I manage to do at that spare time? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to attend a particular meeting that I had purpose to do? Can I multitask? You know, there are times at work you can also multitask. So can I multitask? So that's what it looks like. I hope that answers the question.
It does.
Quite well.
Because I think you even mentioned it before, that you journal a lot.
Yes.
So one of your techniques that you use to manage your time is to journal, to write down.
Yes.
Even this, is it which is it Ezekiel?
Habakkuk.
Yes.
He tells him, write, yes, Habakkuk 2:2, write it down.
Make it clear, right?
Yes.
So maybe most of the time, I think we just live. We are just like one day at a time.
That's it.
I used to be team one day. So you see, I have a to-do list.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have come up with strategies for my week, for my quarter, for my year. But then it goes without saying that you will encounter interruptions.
That's true.
And distractions.
That's true.
How do you deal with that?
Those are bound to come, and you need to have, you need to prepare for obstacles, you need to prepare for distractions. But I think one thing that works for me, and it might not work for every other young person, I think everyone knows themselves. But for me, one main distractor, like I can just start a day so well, and then get to social media, and my day just turns around. You know, it's like a 360% turn. It's like, I don't know what social media introduces. I don't know if the dopamine that just gets, it just like the hormones just overreact.
Actually, I learned that scrolling social media it releases some dopamine. So most of the time, you find someone who's struggling with procrastination, and I'm procrastinating to do this thing because I don't want to deal with the mental it's going to I'm going to feel stressed. So I feel my mind is looking for dopamine.
Exactly.
And that is what social media gives you, those short videos and reels that you keep scrolling. So anytime you try to get busy, so you have accustomed your mind, you're not used to boredom. I learned somewhere that you should get used to boredom. You should get used to just not doing anything.
For sure.
And that is what social media is against.
That's true.
Always like giving you a form of dopamine.
Exactly.
So it's true. Social media has a lot of dopamine.
And so I try to keep myself off. Like if I know I need to do something, I just know today, social media and me, goodbye. That's why you'll complain I've not responded to your messages, you know? And I'm just avoiding a distractor. I just want to have a set time. I'm saying today it's 3 hours for social media. To reply to my messages, to go to WhatsApp, to do all those things, it's 3 hours. So how do I avoid distractors and obstacles by also just keeping off? You can also focus mode. I do focus mode on my phone a lot of times because I know I need to achieve something within a specific time. And so I focus my phone. No one can call me, no one can text me, nothing will distract me. My mind is set on achieving a particular purpose. And I think that's very, very important. You gave a good example as we were starting. You see Christ, Christ himself takes time. He goes into the mountain to just have some peace of mind, to just have time by himself so that he can focus, he can have energy to actually manage the next day. And so having this time off is actually very good to actually repurpose, to refocus, and to think about the challenges of the next day. So those are some of the ways you can handle distractors and obstacles, but sometimes you also have to deal with them head on. Like a distractor has come, you need to make an active choice.
An example of a distraction?
I would say someone calls you and they need you to do a particular task, and they tell you this needs to be done now. Like it's urgent. Like, please, maybe let me say an example. Last year I was actually a secretary for quite a number of ministries. And so someone would call and they're like, Vinny, we need the minutes today, right now. And then I'm like, okay, yes, I know we need the minutes today, right now. Do I have the capacity to do this? So I'm like, okay, I can do the minutes, but I just can't do them right now. I can't do them today. So this is a good distractor, yeah? Someone is probably reminding you of something you needed to have done. But I'm like, do I have the capacity to take it in right now? No. So I can do it another day. And when you look at even setting boundaries, then this also comes in with setting boundaries. And there's a very nice book called Boundaries, written by Henry Cloud and Joe. And in this book, they talk about 4 kinds of people or 4 kinds of situations, and they actually call them boundary problems. But when I look at them, I'm like, no, these are not boundary problems. I look at them as these are ways of actually managing distractors and obstacles. They talk about 4 kinds of people. They talk about compliance, they talk about avoidance, they talk about non-responsive people, and then they talk about people who are, how do I say it, not choleric. It's more like choleric, like they can't take no, they can't hear, like they just want things to be done now and now and now. And so these kinds of 4 situations, I think for me, would really be applicable when we're talking about distractors and when we're talking about things that come in the way. So non-responsive means that I can't say yes. Like I'm not saying yes right now, so I'm not responsive. A compliant person is they can't say no, so I can't say no right now. And these two things you can apply at the same time, you know. Yeah.
I love that, because the other thing I wanted us to talk about strategies. What strategies does someone use to maintain focus throughout the day? And I think one of them that you have mentioned is learning to say no, setting boundaries, and then just if your phone is actually a distractor, maybe the most important thing for us to mention is get to know what are those things that distract you. If it's my phone, I was listening to a podcast of someone who just they have really mastered like this time management and productivity, and they keep advising, if your phone is a distractor and you're working in your dining, let's say you're working from home, leave the phone in the bedroom.
That's true.
Put it, like as you have advised, put it on do not disturb. Is there any other thing, like another strategy that you have implemented that you can share?
Yeah, you can also, you see, sometimes, as you said, identify what are your distractors. Some people, it's YouTube. It's not even the phone. Probably it's watching. You can be watching constructive things, but these are distractors for you to achieving your goals. It could be friends. You know, you're probably spending so much time interacting with your friends. So can you set time limits? Like communicate to your friends, we can only talk on Saturday evenings, or we can only when we meet on Sabbath, after Sabbath, can we talk at that time? Because they're actually your distractors. So setting times with your friend, helping your friends understand, you guys, by 10, I'm asleep. So you can't even call me at 10 and find me because I'll be sleeping. So also realize and know, like, is it your friends who distract you? Is it that you're quite disorganized? You know, that you're not very organized in your time, let's say time management, that you get easily distracted and swayed away? Is it your family that sways you away? Is it things that you hadn't anticipated to come in that are distracting you? So aside from focus modes on phone, is communicating to your friends and family that these are my particular set times for achieving particular things. And
set boundaries,
exactly,
boundaries.
Communicate to your friends, because they need friends and family. Because how can't I talk to my best friend, for example, or my mother or whoever in your family? You're not talking to them in 2 days and they're wondering, is this person okay? Are they still functioning? So you need to communicate to them so that they know what are your patterns like, you know. So other things you can do is clearly outline time sets which you're supposed to finish things. Get things done. I need to get things done by this particular time. Then nothing will distract you. I think one thing that has worked for me in that sense is setting a timer. I like set a timer, and the timer, once it rings, like my body just, it's like there's something wrong. So you can implement timers. You can implement even sticker notes or sticky notes. Writing it down and putting the sticker notes places where you can see. So make it quite visible that, you know, I need to accomplish this thing by noon, and write it everywhere. It can be on your laptop, it can be on a wall, it can be somewhere. You can even tell someone, please check up on me. I think that has also really, really worked for me in accountability partners.
I love the way we say that at the same time.
I remember, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I had like a very serious exam to sit for, and I had planned to like read for a month, and I had scheduled like 3 hours every day to read for this exam. But every other day I'd keep saying, no, I don't want to do it this week, I'll do it next week, I don't want to do it. Then I decided, okay, this is getting difficult. So what I'll do is I'll just get time off from work, time off from everything. I'll just take a week off, do nothing but study for this exam. And so my accountability partner would be like, Vinny, how many hours have you clocked of your studies? Because I had purpose to clock 90 hours for my studies. So like, how many hours are we today? I'm like, 10 hours. How many hours are we? So my accountability partner kept checking. When they saw me online, they're like, Vinny, what are you doing online? I thought we are clocking 50 hours today. How many hours are you? Please get out. As in, I don't want to see you online. I don't want to see you online. So accountability partners do help in trying to avoid distractors that come in.
So you see, time management goes hand in hand with productivity.
All right.
If I manage my time well, I am able to be productive.
That is very true.
But it also goes without saying that productivity can come with burnout and my energy levels going down. What are some of the things that I can implement to help me avoid burnout or deal with burnout?
Burnout comes and showcases itself to different people in different ways. Maybe medical professionals would be better suited to talk about burnout. I'm a culprit of burnout, and so how it manifests in me is very different from how it manifests in other people. But for me, one indicator that my energy levels are getting low definitely is my head starts aching. Like there's a very consistent, serious headache that I even have to remove. Wearing spectacles becomes very uncomfortable, and so I know my energy levels are out. And so in times like those, I'd take a quick walk. That especially happens at work. So I just stand, I take a walk, I breathe in fresh air, I stay in the sun. And you know, the 7 laws of health, like New Start, like take a lot of water, go in open air. The advantage of our work is we have like a gym. So if you just feel overwhelmed, you can just go to the gym and just do something in the gym. And so that truly does help. So taking a quick walk, and then for me, honestly, it's eating.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, because you see, you can be so busy, you have so much to do, you have a full to-do list, you have not slotting time to even eat.
It's true. Imagine in maybe 2021 or 2022, I was losing weight at a very, very visible rate. And I went and asked the nutritionist, like, what do you think is the problem? Then the nutritionist asked me a very simple question. Do you eat while working? I'm like, yeah, people eat while working. Is this strange? They're like, yes, that's your problem. Like, that's your problem. You eat while working. Why don't you just take time, eat your food, enjoy?
So eating is not eating anymore.
Don't just eat talking to Erica. Just like focus, eat, and you'll be fine. And I started doing that, and things started changing. Of course, things haven't changed,
but they have changed.
But things have changed, so eating really helps, and cooking for me. Cooking really helps, like it makes me relax. So just get something that works for you. What works for you? What makes you feel rested? What makes you feel refreshed? But those are just the basic, that's like the bare minimum. I think something else that really works for me, like to boost up my energy for a long run, is going for a good outdoor activity. This year I had planned to I had scheduled twice in a month I must do an outdoor activity, because I want my energy levels to be at maximum. So for me to have energy levels at maximum, then I have to challenge my body constantly to be able to produce the energy levels that I need for particular tasks. So
instead of getting the dopamine on social media,
exactly,
I go get it on an outdoor activity.
Yes, and it could be anything, even something as simple as forest bathing. And this is a concept I read in, I think, Nation Media. I can't remember when, but they had done a wonderful article on forest bathing. You can actually Google and just read it out. And forest bathing is just walking in a park. Go to Arboretum, go to John Mishuki. Imagine, it's nothing difficult. Like your body just needs to be refreshed, re-energized, and you need also to sleep. Honestly, sometimes it's just like, I need to sleep.
You have 18 hours of work. There's a young person who's watching us today, and they're like, you know what, I think I've been wasting so much time. I want to redeem the times, because I've noticed the days are evil. So what strategies and tips can we give them to just start them off?
All right. So yes, in fact, Ellen White says in Christ Object Lessons, the chapter that talks about time as a talent. And she says, once time is gone, like when you're talking about, if there's something that God will count us, if there's something God will expect a strict account of, is time. It's not even, did you go for mission? It's not, did you do, it's how did you manage the time that I gave you? And once time is gone, it's gone. You can't recall time. I can't say, I can't recall and say, I need my last 1 hour back. Once it's gone, And you're probably thinking, how do I make better use of my time? Okay, I've been wasting my time. I've been doing things that are not as constructive as I wanted to. But it takes step by step. We need to realize that it takes one step and another step. I think it's Walt Disney who talks about, it's about starting. You don't have a time regiment. You don't have a proper plan of how do I plan out my time. It just starts with, start today. take a paper, take your phone, take your laptop, there are many time management applications out there. Set out what you want
Even
to
Google
achieve.
Calendar.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, Google Calendar is actually a very good planner. You know, get those planners, write out what you want to achieve, and then start. Don't wait to start next year. Don't wait to start. Just start. Well, I was talking about Walt Disney, who says the easiest way to get something done is just start. Nike understands this. Nike says just do it. Just do it. You know, what are you waiting for? Just do it. You know, Voltaire says there are many ways to wasting time. Number one, the obvious one, is doing nothing. I don't do anything, so I'm wasting time. The other thing is doing what you're not supposed to be doing. You know, there are people who are working hard, Erica. There are people who think, I've managed my time well. But you're actually doing things which are unnecessary. Yeah, they're unnecessary. And so you're actually wasting time because you're actually productive in things which don't matter.
You're not supposed to be productive in.
So look at, again, what is my goal? What is my vision? Am I spending time in things which will add up to what my vision and my mission in life actually is? Do you have a personal statement? Do you have a mission statement of your life, something that guides you, so that when an opportunity comes today and I'm supposed to go to, let's say I'm supposed to go and relocate to Iceland, for example, does that resonate with my personal goals? Does that resonate with, you know, we're talking about time management, does that resonate with what you want to achieve within a particular time set? So probably you want to do your PhD in the next 4 years, an opportunity comes for you to go to Iceland. How do you manage that time? Do I go for the PhD? Do I go to Iceland? Let's go back to our topic. We're talking about doing nothing. We're talking about doing unnecessary things. We are talking about you know, when you're constantly how do I say this? When you're constantly in I don't know how to properly say this, but misplaced priority. Not necessarily doing unnecessary things,
but your priorities are just
misplaced.
Yes,
so you're actually wasting time when you're misplacing your priorities.
Maybe that one will actually really expound on it more when you're talking about goal setting and achieving goals. Dear viewer, I think this is one of the most thought-provoking conversations we've ever had. I love it. The Bible says, without the vision, people perish. Make sure you have a vision. Make sure you know where you're going. Otherwise, you will be lost. And if you are a victim of time wasting, maybe you should check your mornings. You should check how you start your day. I once read somewhere that maybe sometimes it can be hard to plan for the day on that same day. Maybe you should even try and plan it the previous day. I hope you got insights that will help you in your time management. We cannot talk about time in 30 minutes, but we have to keep time. So we hope to see you once again in another episode of Talk, Share, and Inspire.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.